plan for today is to go and cut down some more black locust trees. I have just enough timbers to do the whole porch, but I would like to get at least one or two more just to be sure. That way if I cut into one and mess it up, or find that there's some rot or something happens, I'd like to have at least one extra. But the way the material works out now, if I have two 11-footers, they get me to my 21-foot porch. According to some of the professionals I talked to for timber framing, I need to extend the scarf joint past a little bit, which would offset my middle post. It wouldn't be in the center of the porch, it would be a little bit to either side. So if I get a longer beam, I can move my post to the center of the porch. So I need at least a 12-footer, so I'd like to get a 14-foot 6x6 to know I have everything I need. So the neighbor actually offered, he has a really steep bank, and a few years ago we had a tornado go through and knock a whole bunch of trees down. And a few that are still left are these black locusts. It's right on the edge of a bank. Half of them look like they're ready to fall down anyway. So he said that we cut them up. What we don't use, he could use for firewood. Some of them are pretty rotten. I know we can't use a good bit of it, but I'll take what I can get. There's at least one or two big looking trees. I can't see real far up. Hopefully there's no rot like 20 feet up there that hollows them out too bad. If so, I mean, either way, you know, he'll luck out and get some firewood. He's going to have an excavator there. He actually is paralyzed from the waist down, so he said he'll be able to help with the excavator, pick up logs, move brush, knock trees down, whatever we need him to do in that. So that'll be a huge help, because half the time I worry, because I'm not a professional tree feller, so I worry about which way the tree's going to go. I have a pretty good idea where it's going, but it's always that unknown factor. Maybe that it's hollow and it just goes unexpectedly. So it'll be nice, cut most of the way through it. He can push them. He can put a little bit of tension on them so I don't get anything stuck. So we'll see how it goes. He lives about a mile down the road, maybe a little more. He's the farmer who leases our land. We have a 300-acre farm. He leases it off of us, and I was talking to him the other day, and he said, come on over. He took me for a ride in a side-by-side and showed me all the trees that he had, and said if I needed anything I could have them. So it's good to have awesome neighbors like him. So I'm going to go ahead and take my brother over, he can help limb them while I cut them down, and we'll go see what kind of logs we can get out of it. right where I aimed for. Other than that piece of wood being harder than a freaking steel beam.
Well, that's what I asked him, is that locust, that
Alright, so I just got back from all these logs. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 long ones and then a couple small pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them anchor sealed up. This was the biggest one. It is 24 inches in diameter. There's a little hollow spot that goes about 12 inches in. Out of all this trees, there was an awful lot of hollowed out spots like rot and stuff, so it was a pain to work through them all. I got all of them picked through, so these are the nicest ones. The rest of them the farmer's keeping for firewood. So I'm going to go ahead and get these anchor sealed. At first, this stuff was so hard I actually thought something was wrong with my chainsaw. And then I went and cut a piece of cherry and chainsaw ate right through it like it was butter. This stuff is just so hard. It was like cutting through metal. It was ridiculous, which is exactly why I'm using it for a porch. I needed at least one 12-footer. I should be able to get at least out of one of these. The hard part with this stuff is, at least around here, if you find a tree that's big enough, it's either really like bendy or is rotting it somewhere, or some sort of knot got broken off and it hollowed it out somehow. So I'm hoping with this many logs I can get at least one 12-footer. I think about 2 of these are 20-foot long. It's just a matter of if I can get a 6x6 out of them or not. So we'll see what we get out of them. But yeah, that was the first time I got to use an excavator to knock a tree down. And it takes the fall factor out of it, guessing which way it's going to go. So it was very convenient to have an excavator sitting there and push it the way you want it to go, even if it's leaning the other way. And then the cool thing is when it falls down, he picks it up, we limb it, and then he drives off with it. So it made our life easy. I mean, what normally takes us to do one tree, we did all of this. So super convenient. I wish I had the money for one.